Welcome to ExamPadi. Our topic today is Introduction to Matter. And in this video we will 1. Explore the term matter. 2. Discover the different states of matter. And 3. Explain the properties of matter. In science, matter refers to anything that has mass and takes up space. Matter is a physical substance that makes up the universe and everything in it, including all living and non-living things. Matter can exist in several states, including solid, liquid, gas, and plasma, each with unique properties. It can also exist in different forms. For example, matter can be living things like plants and animals, and non-living items like stones, tables, spoons, papers, and so many others. Matter is made up of discrete properties. When a substance is heated, its particles acquire more kinetic energy. When cooled, they lose kinetic energy and become less energetic. Matter can change its state when heated to a particular temperature. Change of state is brought about by heating or cooling. The primary particles of matter are atoms, molecules, and ions. Interestingly, atoms that make up our bodies are constantly moving and vibrating even when we are at rest. This means that even though we seem to be still on the outside, we are in a constant motion in the inside. It shows how much is going on in the smallest level and how much there is to learn about the world around us. Let's talk about the states of matter. The state of matter can be changed by altering temperature or pressure. For example, heating a solid can cause it to melt and become a liquid, and further heating can cause it to evaporate and become gas. Lowering the temperature or increasing the pressure can cause a gas to condense and become a liquid, and further cooling can cause it to freeze and become solid. There are 4 main states of matter, which are solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. In the solid state, the particles are held in a fixed position. They are arranged regularly and have a fixed or definite shape and volume. A strong force of attraction holds the particles together. Examples are wood, stone, nail, book, chairs, and so many others. In liquid states, the particles are not in a fixed position like the solids. The particles can move about but are still restricted by the walls of the container. The force of attraction between the particles are weak. Hence, liquids flow. Liquid take the shape of a container. Examples are water, petrol, groundnut oil, and so many others. In the gaseous state, the particles are further spaced apart than in liquid. They vibrate, rotate, and translate with more particles. The particles are free to move in all directions at great speed. This makes it easy to compress a large volume of gas into a small volume, but is restricted by the wall of the container. Gases do not have a fixed shape or volume. They take the shape and volume of their container. Air, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and helium are examples of gases. The fundamental difference between the 3 states of matter is the degree of movement of their particles. For example, water can turn from liquid to gas when heated, or from liquid to solid when frozen. Now let's talk about plasma. Plasma is a unique state of matter at extremely high temperature and pressures. It consists of charged particles such as ions, electrons, and they are found in stars, lightning, and fluorescent lights. Matter can be classified into 2 broad categories, and they are pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances are materials that have a fixed composition and cannot be separated into other substances by physical means. It is important to note that pure substances can undergo physical or chemical changes which can change their properties. For example, water can be boiled, that is a physical change, to become steam, which has different properties than liquid. Pure substances can be further classified into 2 types. They are elements. These are substances made up of only one type of atom, such as oxygen, gold, or carbon. 2. Compounds. These are substances made up of 2 or more elements chemically bonded together, such as water or salt. The other classification of matter is mixtures. These are materials that contain two or more substances that are physically combined and can be separated into their components by physical means, such as filtration or distillation. Mixtures can be further classified into two types. A. Homogeneous mixtures. These are mixtures with a uniform composition throughout, such as salt water or air. B. Heterogeneous mixtures. These have a non-uniform composition and can be visibly distinguished, such as lettuce, tomatoes, carrots, or granites. The classification of matter is essential in science because it helps us to understand the properties and behavior of different substances and predict how they will interact. The properties of matter. The properties of matter are the characteristics or attributes that distinguish one type of matter from another. There are several properties of matter, including 1. Mass. This is the amount of matter in an object. It is usually measured in grams or kilograms. 2. Volume. It is the amount of space that an object occupies and is usually measured in cubic meters or liters. 3. Density. This is the amount of mass per unit volume of a substance, usually measured in grams per cubic centimeter. 4. Boiling point. It is the temperature at which a substance changes from liquid to gas. 5. Melting point. This is the temperature at which a substance changes from solid to liquid. 6. State of matter. It is the physical form in which a substance exists, such as solid, liquid, gas, or plasma. 7. Solubility. This is the ability of a substance to dissolve in a solvent to form a solution. 8. Conductivity. This is the ability of a substance to conduct electricity or heat. 9. Magnetism. The property of certain materials to attract or repel other materials based on their magnetic properties. 10. Reactivity. This is the ability of a substance to undergo chemical reactions with other substances. 11. Malleability. Malleability is the ability of matter to be hammered or pressed into different shapes. 12. Ductility. Ductility is the ability of matter to be drawn into thin wire. These properties help identify and characterize different substances and predict their behavior in different conditions. We've come to the end of this lesson. Attempt these questions to evaluate yourself. 1. Explain 3 states of matter. 2. Explain the difference between the 3 states of matter. And 3. Describe how particles move in gaseous states. Thank you for learning about Introduction to Matter with me. I'll see you in our next video. Bye.